Hi students, welcome back to our video series on C++ programming, and let's continue with another important topic, which is constructor. Okay, so constructor is a special member function, okay, of the class, and constructor name is same as the class name. Okay, and why we require constructor is used to initialize the properties of an object. Okay, so when you create object, at that time the constructor is called. Okay, when you create object, constructor is called automatically, so we do not call it explicitly. It is called by the compiler implicitly. Okay, so automatic call is there to the constructor when the object is created. Okay, so it creates the object and initialize the initialize the data members with the values. Okay, this is the main purpose of the constructor. Okay, and by default constructor or the default constructor is public. Okay, because as we are using constructor to create the object, and we create object outside the class, so we should define constructor as public, so it is accessible outside the class also. And you can also have constructor protected or private. Okay, so when there is a situation where you don't require any object, okay, so in that case you can define your constructor as protected or private. Clear? So when there are all class members are static, in that case we don't require any object, correct? So that time you can declare constructor as public, sorry, protected or private. Okay, and rest all the time you can declare the constructor as public, so it is accessible in your entire program. Understood? Okay. Constructors are defined public because constructor are used to create the object and initialize the class data members for the object. Understood? Okay. There are different types of constructor. The first one is the default constructor. It is also called as zero argument constructor. So default constructor, it does not take any argument, and we can initialize the data members with some value, and if user don't create the constructor, then the compiler create its own default constructor. Understood? This is the default constructor. Next is parameterized constructor. As the name indicate, parameterized constructor will take some parameters and will take some values from the user and initialize the data members with that value. That is the parameterized constructor. And then next is the third one is the copy constructor. So when you want to create the copy of an object, okay, if there is one object and you want to create the copy of that object in another object, in that case you can use what? Copy constructor. Understood this? Now we'll see one program and we'll try to execute all three constructor in one program. And okay, let's move towards the program. So in this program we'll define all three constructors. Okay, so without wasting time, starting with the program, hash include, I hope you all are doing with me, hash include iostream. Okay, then using namespace std. Okay, after that we need to define a class. So let's say I'm defining a class number. Okay, and um in this class we'll take one variable, okay, as int a. Okay, now I'm making other data as public. So here I am defining one constructor number. Constructor name is same as class name, and our class name is number, so that's why the constructor name is number. So first we will define the default constructor. Default constructor will not take any argument. Okay, the constructor which does not take any argument is the default constructor. Okay, in this simply I am initializing the value of a to 0. Okay, that's it. This is my default constructor. Now I'm writing here parameterize. Parameterize constructor. Constructor, again constructor name is same as the class name. Constructor does not have any return value. Okay, so there is no return type here. Okay, you can see as like functions, there is no return type here because there is constructor does not return any value. Clear? Okay, after that, here in parameterized constructor we require parameters. We need to pass the parameters. So here I am passing one parameter num, and simply I am initializing my value of data member A to this num. Okay, assigning this num to A. After that, we have the copy constructor. Copy constructor is used to create the copy of object. Okay, so when I am defining this constructor will take object as an argument, because we are creating object, copy of the object, correct? So in this constructor we'll write what number, and here I am passing one object. Clear? Okay, now let me give reference here. Okay, as we need to create the copy of object, so we are passing here some details of the object, correct? And we'll just initialize the value of A to the value of this object. Okay, so obj dot A. Understood? So these are the three constructors. One is the, here we have the default constructor, and the second one is parameterized constructor, and third one is the copy constructor. Okay, now we'll just write one function void display to display the values. Okay, and in this I will just display the value of my data member A. Okay, let me put endl also. That's it. Okay, now after this we'll define the main function. So I'm writing here int main, and in main function first thing which we do is to create the object. So I'm creating here number obj, or let's say number n1. This is my object. So when I create this object, once you create the object, constructor is called automatically. So we are not calling the constructor at the time of object creation. Constructor is called by the compiler. So when you create this object, this n1, we are not passing any argument here, so it will call which constructor? It will call the default constructor here. Okay, now let me call the function display. Okay, and we'll see the value of variable. Okay, now after that again let me create one more object n2. Now using now n2, here I am passing some value. So let's say I'm passing here value 15. So this object creation, okay, here I am creating the object, correct, with some value. This will call my parameterized constructor. Okay, this will call my parameterized constructor. And now here I will again call the display function to check the value of my variable. Okay, now we'll create one more object n3, and here I will pass object as an argument. Okay, so when you are passing object as an argument, this will call which constructor? This will call the copy constructor, because in copy constructor parameter is object, correct? So here we are passing n2, which is the object, and we want to create the copy of this n2, correct? So copy constructor is called, and now we'll just display the n3. Okay, so that's it. So in this way you can define constructors in your class. Okay, now let's execute this program. So here we got the values as 0. First is default constructor. Here we have initialized the value of A as 0. Second one, we are passing the value as 15. So that's why the for n2 second object we got a value as 15, and for third object we are creating copy of second object. That's why the value is same for third object. Understood? So this is about the constructors in C++. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. We can also call it as the constructor overloading. Okay, so in the previous video we have seen that function overloading means same function name with different number of parameters. So here we can say that this is constructor. Okay, constructor name is same, yes, with different number of parameters or different types of parameter, correct? So here this type is integer, here this type is the class type object, correct? So this is also the program for constructor overloading, like the function overloading. Okay, So I hope it is clear, and if you have any doubt, any queries, you can ask in the comment box. Okay, and okay, that's it for today. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button.